Hey guys, welcome to another video, and in this video we're gonna be talking about while loops. So what are while loops? Like in the last video where we talked about iterating over an array or slice using for loops, while loops allow you to loop or repeat a block of code while a condition is true. So basically, while loops work on conditions, while for loops work on an array of slices. So the way we write while loops in Zig is very simple. So we have while a condition, which is going to evaluate to Boolean, then we have this block of code that we want to execute. So we're gonna create some condition here so that we can have something to play with, and this is going to be a number, and this number is going to be an I32, and I'm gonna put that as 0 for now. So I could now do something like one number is less than 10, and so I'm going to run some code here, say std_log.info, and has number is now, and then all right, semicolon there. So number is now, you could have number here. And so what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to make sure that so while I have this loop running, let's take a look at it. So we have var number equals 0 here, and I'm checking that while number is less than 10, we want to continue to execute this code. Of course, number is less than 10, so this is going to execute this block of code. So how do we do this? We need to make sure that there is a condition that terminates this particular while loop. If that is not the case, then this is going to continue to run forever. And the way to do that is to use the continue expression. So the continue expression is after the parenthesis, you have a colon, and then you have a brace. So you could then have something like number plus equals to 1. Another way you could do it is you could have arbitrary expressions. Just put a curly brace here, and you could write out as many expressions as you want. But here we're just going to have one, number plus equals 1. And so what this is going to do is after evaluating this and running the code, it's going to run this expression. So now if I save this, you're going to find that this should print, I believe this should print from 0 to 9. So let's check that out. And there we go. So this prints from 0 to 9. And once that is done, this terminates the while loop and everything is done. So another thing we can do is have an else block inside of our while loop. So this is like a while else expression. So let's say that this is false, and then we have like an else. So what this else is going to do is if this while loop does not evaluate to true, then it's going to evaluate whatever is in the else block. So, and here we should do else block evaluated. And if we run this, let's see what we get. And we see else block evaluated. So that is one thing you should keep in mind. Also, we could test this to see what happens when it is initially true and then it becomes false. So what that is going to do is I'm going to do some condition, and this is going to be true and while condition. So while the condition is true, once we have, we're not gonna do anything here actually. Actually we should, so we can print out something like condition is true. And once we're done executing this, I'm going to use the continue expression to say condition is false. All right. So what that means is that this should evaluate this once, and then we shouldn't evaluate it anymore. So it should move straight to the else block. And so that's exactly what happens. You see we have condition is true, and then this gets set to false, and then we have else block evaluated. So whenever you have some code that you want to run while the condition is true, and as soon as the condition becomes false, you want to run some other block of code, then you can use this while else condition. So another thing you can do with while loops is you can have your while loops on optionals. So what does that mean exactly? I'm gonna show you that right now. So what an optional is, I don't think I've talked about optionals yet in this video, but in this series, but we're gonna get into that in some other videos. But just bear with me for a moment. So we could have like an optional here, optional value, and this is going to be optional value. This is going to be an optional I32. So what this optional allow you to do is this can either be an I32 or this could be null. So you can see that I actually have this here. So what this allows me to do is now delete that. Yeah. So what this allows me to do is to have these optional value and then have like the actual value that I want to reference for this. I'm going to show you why this is very useful in a minute. So I'm going to std.log.info generated and value. So what I want to do is I want to write a function that is going to generate a number, and this is going to return an optional I32, and I'm going to have a global variable that's going to be number. This is an I32. It's going to start from 0, and I'm going to say that if number is yeah, so I want to say that if number is less than 10, then I want to do number plus equals 1, and then return number minus 1. If not, I want to return null. So this is what I want to do. So what this function basically does is this function is going to print out, it's going to check if the number is less than 10. It's going to increment the number and print out the previous number. And then if the number is already greater than or equal to 10, then it's going to just return null. So what we're going to do is we're going to replace this optional value with this. And so we're going to do something like generate number. So we're calling this function to return a number for us. And if we have a value, we're going to say we generated something. And you're going to see that. So this is really useful for a bunch of scenarios when you have like a generator function and you just want to generate while you have values and fetch out the value from there. So now if we do zig build run, we should see that we get generated from 0 to 9. And at the end of the day, we don't get any value anymore. We could also put an else block here because once we don't have a value anymore, then we could log something that says no more values or something like that, and run this. And what do we get? Exactly, no more values. So that is how useful your while loop can be in Zig. Thank you for watching. I will see you in the next video. Make sure you like and subscribe, and bye.